Hot springs that offer peaceful moments of relaxation from the past into the present. Spring water that nurtures life, producing a landscape brimming with green. It is the activity of a living earth that brings forth expressions of each of the 4 seasons to the Japanese archipelago. Hakone Geopark reveals to us the life that thrives on the land and the underlying activity of the earth that forms a backdrop of our history and way of life. Geopark means Park of the Earth, a park in which we can fully enjoy the landscape with its regionally characteristic culture and history, and the diversity of life supported by various terrains and geological features. Tectonic plates cover the surface of the Earth, and 4 of these come together in the Japanese archipelago, bringing forth an active combination of earthquakes and volcanic activity, as well as diverse climatic conditions. Many geoparks have been recognized in Japan, each holding its own story of origin. In the middle of these, in the western part of Kanagawa Prefecture, is Hakone Geopark. Hidden in the origins of the Hakone volcano is a dynamic story created by volcanic activities. The Shiraishi Jizo stone statues, which are enshrined to pray for the safety of visitors to Mount Hakone, are carved out of the oldest rock stratum of Hakone Geopark. This stratum, found on the valley floor of Hakone, was formed around a submarine volcano. And in this stratum, which makes up the base of the Hakone volcano, fossils of southern warm water shellfish and shark teeth have been found, indicating that they originated from the bottom of the ocean further south. Approximately 4 million years ago, the stratum formed on a volcanic island and its surrounding submarine volcanoes on the Philippine Sea Plate. As the plate moved, the volcanic landmass approached Honshu, the main island of Japan. Approximately 1 million years ago, sand and gravel accumulated in the sea between them, forming the Ashigara Group. As the shallow sea eventually turned into land, the uplift of the Tanzawa Mountains on the Honshu side became more prominent. The strata of mud, sand, and gravel were carried from the Tanzawa Mountains into the shallow sea where they accumulated, and clam fossils in the strata of the Ashigara Group indicate the existence of a shallow sea between the landmass and Honshu. After the Izu Peninsula merged with Honshu, the Philippine Sea Plate continued to be subducted under Honshu, and the Hakone volcano was created due to magma activity generated by the subduction of the Pacific Plate under the Philippine Sea Plate. Roughly 400,000 years ago, the formation of the Hakone volcano began from repeated activity of several composite volcanoes, and about 230,000 years ago, explosive eruptions occurred repeatedly, leading to the formation of the caldera that is characteristic of the Hakone volcano. At the same time, in the northwest and southeast regions on either side of the caldera, groups of monogenetic volcanoes became active and underwent repeated volcanic eruptions with lava flow. The Manazuru Peninsula, which juts out into Sagami Bay, is one occurrence caused by such activity. Starting 130,000 years ago, the center of volcanic activity has been located within the caldera. Interjected by an extremely large eruption approximately 66,000 years ago, the Hakone volcano formed multiple central volcanic cones in the caldera. Then, 3,100 years ago, one of the central volcanic cones, a part of Mount Kamiyama, collapsed, and the present Lake Ashinoko was born. The diverse terrain and landscape of Hakone Geopark came to be through a combination of tectonic plate motion and the volcanic activity born from it. The mountains of the central volcanic cones, Lake Ashinoko, and the outer rim of the caldera all comprise Hakone. To the east is Odawara, which once flourished as a castle town. To the south is Manazuru, which juts out into Sagami Bay, and Yugawara, whose famous hot springs were mentioned in the Manyoshu, an anthology of ancient Japanese poems. In the north is Minami Ashigara, famous for the legend of Kintaro. With these 5 regions, the geopark is rich in diversity. Fumes emanating from the surface, the distinct landscape of a volcano, and the surrounding nature. With large-scale measures to prevent mountainside collapse, and brimming with the fascinating elements of the Hakone volcano and the mountains overlooking Lake Ashinoko, the Hakone area is a great tourist spot that attracts multitudes for its superb scenery that came into existence by volcanic activity. Odawara, which centers around Odawara Castle, active from the Sengoku or Warring States period to the Edo period, flourished as a post town along the historical Tokaido Road that connected the cultures of East and West Japan, and imparts us even now with history and culture. The area also gives us a glimpse into the relation between the land and culture, with the remains of stones quarried for the construction of Edo Castle. At the tip of the Manazuru Peninsula is the Mitsuishi Coast, a natural formation created by lava from the Hakone volcano and eroded by the sea. At Kibune Shrine, which dates back 1,200 years, we can see stones that were sourced from lava. Traces of cut stone all along the coast tell the history of the ancient practice of stone quarrying. This landscape was formed when lava cooled and hardened into columnar joints. Along the coast, layers of volcanic ash were oxidized and turned red by the heat from lava. The Yugawara area tells the origin of a land that was born from volcanic activity. With an abundance of natural environment and historical culture in the townscape, the area is rich in expression. A major transportation hub since ancient times, the Minami Ashigara area is home to Mount Yaguradake, a landmark along the Ashigara Road. Terrain formed by pyroclastic flow from the Hakone volcano was used as a flood control measure. These and other highlights of history and culture can be touched upon, along with traces of the Earth's activity. In 2015, there was a phreatic eruption at Mount Hakone, still an active volcano. The event was small-scale, but was the first ever observed phreatic eruption at the Hakone volcano, and consequently led to great social turmoil regarding tourism in the Hakone area, as well as residents coexisting with the volcano. Ordinarily, underground hydrothermal water heated by magma leaks above ground in the form of fumarolic gas or hot springs, maintaining equilibrium. However, in some circumstances, hot water rises from underground hydrothermal water pools. When the new hot water is brought up to more shallow areas, earthquakes or ground deformation occurs. If the rising hot water is large in quantity, the steam expands rapidly near the surface where there is less pressure, causing a phreatic eruption to occur, where water vapor and volcanic ash are ejected and rocks in the volcanic crater are blown off. While it is difficult to assess the state of the magma underground or predict the amount that will come to the surface, the research facilities are constantly observing the volcano's conditions. Living things and human civilization are all entwined in a geological story. Experiencing the geosite means knowing not only about our past, but also about the still active Earth. A trip that encompasses myriad landscapes abundant in change, a contact with history and culture, and healing hot springs. When you visit Hakone Geopark, please enjoy it, and be sure to take a moment to ponder the Earth, whose activity lies behind humanity and history, past and present.